Alright, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Red Dawn 2012. This is going to be another remake, in this case, of the 1984 original. Well, I thought I was going to hate this movie. Well, I was kind of mixed feelings about it. It was better than I thought. I'm giving it 3 out of 5 stars. Some pretty good, cool action scenes, explosions, and the 30-year-old teenager Blondie looks pretty hot in this one. I'm normally not attracted to white women, but she looks pretty good. Some of the movie is kind of cornball stuff, like, for instance, I thought I was watching Family Jewels, Gene Simmons, when the guy says, the Iraq veteran says, "We inherited our freedom, now we have to fight for it back," or something like that. Anyways, it's pretty cold here. I'm getting I gave the 25-year-old gold digger transsexual a piece of my mind. I told her it doesn't matter how much you earn, what matters is how much you keep, which is what I told the 18-year-old Vietnamese Chinese hooker on OkCupid, and she promptly ignored me. This 25-year-old Asian transsexual in Daly City, she just replied okay, and then she did a lipstick gift, whatever the hell, I don't know what kind of play a game she's doing, but I guess she goes on to Happen just to have a crush on guys, older guys, thinking that they have money, and that's her fantasy or something. Whatever. I never really took online dating seriously anyway, and I seriously doubt that I'll ever get to meet this person unless I bump into her on the street or something, because I live really close to her. And so I'm trying to hook up with a 42-year-old Asian CPA. She's about 5 years younger than my second wife, but she looks similar, and she has the same profession as my second wife. So there's that. She's on what was it, Bagel Meets Coffee. She finally responded to my message after a few days. I guess she was busy. I wonder what she's busy doing. Hopefully not taking care of kids. And I don't know if she wants more kids, what her deal is. Similar kind of mystery with the 39-year-old professor, Brazilian gal. I saw her on Tinder and we were a match, so I'm waiting for her to respond to my coffee invitation. And so at least I got a hold of some real women. Whether they turn out to be concrete dates is another thing altogether. I keep asking the 42-year-old Asian CPA, who's very similar to my second wife, pick a time and place. She keeps asking me questions like, where do you live, where do you work, that kind of thing. So I answered her, and by then it was like 11 p.m. I guess she went to bed. I don't know. But at least I got her attention, and I'll have more details as soon as I find out. I'll let you know. Not that you're interested in my love life, but I have no love life, so that's my problem. I even asked my son to tell the Chinese girl who's teaching him Chinese art class to call me when I'm age 21, which is an old Rodney Dangerfield joke from, what was it, Easy Money? I don't know. One of those rated R movies that I saw. It wasn't Back to School, it was Easy Money, I think. Back in the 80s. One of the few R-rated movies that I saw back in the 80s. So, yeah, that was like forbidden fruit for me at that time. I'd make my mom mad by going over to my friend's house, watch R-rated movies on HBO. Or I'd go, I saw, what was it, Escape from New York at my aunt's house. She rented it from some couple who was living on the street corner. They were like ripping VHS tapes off of HBO or something. Pretty crazy days back then. Anyways, getting back to the movie, enough about me and my movie watching during the 80s, or lack thereof, I should say. Compared to my son. So the Red Dawn remake starts off really bad. We don't know what's going on. Just a bunch of Asian people parachuting down, taking over Spokane, Washington. Prior to that, there's a football game. The high school quarterback who's wearing a Dinosaur Jr. t-shirt. Kind of looks like a grunge dude. He loses the game because the coach takes him out in favor for the field goal kicker who misses the the winning field goal at the end of the game. So they end up losing, and the other football team is like gloating at him, stuff. His dad is there and his brother is there. His brother had been fighting in Iraq. I'm not sure why he's back in the United States. Usually if you're fighting in the Middle East, the only way you can get out of it is if you're injured somehow. Like you got a bum leg or something. So that part wasn't explained in the beginning. 2 plot holes so far. At least they explained how the North Koreans landed. Although on the synopsis on Netflix it says Chinese, I think. Yeah, Chinese military forces. I thought it was North Korean. I'm confused. Anyways, there's some Russian counter-insurgency people later on. Kind of interesting how the whole thing played out, though, despite the cornball factor and the total ridiculous notion that communists can take over the United States when the United States has been essentially communist with various planks from the Communist Manifesto for the last 100 years. So these people should really look in the mirror before they worry about some North Koreans, Russians coming in and taking over the government. So basically what happens is it's an EMT, takes out all the electronics, cripples the military here, and so it's easy for them to use non-nuclear force and just take over the government. They've got some kind of communication device that I didn't quite understand. They used to communicate with each other. Nobody can hack into it. So the Indian movie is essentially about going after that communication device, and it's pretty slow. First half with a bunch of lame, corny lines. Pita is in this from Hunger Games, Catching Fire. So it's kind of interesting to see a familiar face. I don't really know any of the other actors in this movie. And this one got bad reviews. I don't know what the IMDb rating is though. I have to look it up. But I'm not going to look it up before I cut off this video. So it gets a 5.4 rating on IMDb, and I'm giving it a 6, so it's pretty close. It's a little higher than what other people rated it, but yeah, I just couldn't really get into the characters except for the blondie, and so the ragtag group of little terrorists, as the North Koreans call them, they decide to call themselves the Wolverines, which are which is the name of the football team from high school. And anyways, hang on a second. Somebody came down to sit on the bench over there, so I'm going to walk my DVD to the mailbox here, since there are no cars anywhere coming anytime soon, as far as I know. I've done this many a time. Just oh, there's no bonus features on this disc, so I'm thinking that the bonus features are on a separate disc, but I can't really tell because I don't have the Netflix app on my phone. I don't have the space on my phone to add the Netflix app. So I'll probably check it out when I go to my second job. If I get a chance to log on to Netflix. So anyways, getting back to the movie, there's a lot of action in this movie, starting from the middle all the way towards the end. They meet up with a bunch of retired Marines, and then they set out to take that communication device, as I said. The high school quarterback dude is chasing after the blondie because she's like locked up in some kind of orange prison gear, and then she's like shackled to this bus seat. So he sees her, he chases after her, and as a consequence of that, one of the Wolverines gets killed. So a lot of them get killed in this movie. The idea is that you have to sacrifice for your freedom, kind of nonsense. This imaginary freedom that they thought they had, but they really didn't. And so yeah, sorry to tell you my political views on the whole communist Red Scare thing, but to me it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, yeah, I think I explained it already. So, sorry about my little political rant there, but yeah, it's that kind of movie. Kind of gets you thinking about how this country has gone downhill already during the last 100 years, and it is what it is. The idea that we're free now compared to 100 years ago is absurd. But people think that that's the mainstream view these days. So I guess I'm out on the fringe in that respect, similar to John Birch's society views on communism. But anyways, it was better than I expected. I thought it would be much worse, so not a bad little remake, not a good one either. Kind of so-so. Oh, it's starting to rain. Good thing I brought my umbrella, my ski cap, and my scarf. Got some pretty good sleep. I slept through church today. I didn't even go to church, which is unusual. Usually I drag my son to church and he plays on my cell phone the whole time. But I was so dang tired I just slept through the whole thing. And caught up on some sleep. I'm not really tired, but I'll probably doze off after this guy leaves. And that's the end of my review. Later.